everyone and welcome to my channel. As you know, I'm currently in Turkey and after having a wonderful time in Cappadocia, we arrived in Istanbul last night. And before we go out to exploring Istanbul, let me also show you around the beautiful hotel we are staying in. So Istanbul was founded around 660 BC as Byzantium, and since then it has changed name multiple times, from Byzantium to Constantinople and then Istanbul. We are now heading to Sultanahmet, which is the heart of old Istanbul, and that's where our walking tour will be starting. This area has history from over 1500 years ago and from the time of Byzantine Empire and later the Ottoman Empire.
Close to Luxor in Egypt, which is one of the largest temple sites today. So you can still see the hieroglyphs on it, the Egyptian picture right.
Our first stop in this walking tour is Obelisk of Theodosius, and this tall stone pillar is actually from ancient Egypt, carved more than 3000 years ago. It was brought here by Byzantine Emperor Theodosius in the 4th century, and it's so crazy to think something that old is just standing in the middle of the city. And a fun fact, this pillar is one of the oldest man-made objects in Istanbul.
And the emperors, they were watching the games in there. And today we have the blue mosque on that part of the Hippodrome. And Emperor Theodosius I, who made this stone stand here, he will be watching different moments. But right now, at the left part of the Hippodrome, you can see the slaves. Actually, there were thousands of them. So slaves were...
So an interesting fact about Istanbul. So Istanbul is the only city in the world on 2 continents. It sits in both Europe and Asia, divided by the Bosphorous Strait.
There was already a winner celebrated by everybody here, singing, chanting, and there were different shows as well. So you can see those spectator heads, watching ladies dancing below them, the ancient cheer.
And right next to the obelisk is the serpent column, and this one is around 2500 years old and is originally from Greece. It was made after a big Greek victory over Persia, and the fact that the Byzantines brought all these monuments here shows how important this area of Istanbul was.
It's 79 BC, and for this war, for the first time, 31 Greek city-states, they decided to unite against...
Just behind the serpent column is the walled obelisk, and is from the 10th century, built by a Byzantine emperor. Originally it was covered in bronze plates, but most of those were taken away during later invasions. So this whole open area used to be the Hippodrome, a huge stadium where the Byzantines had big horse and chariot races. More than 40,000 people would gather here. Imagine the noise and excitement. Today is peaceful, but back then it was like a Times Square of Constantinople. Our next stop is the German fountain, and this was a gift from the German emperor in 1901 to the Ottoman Sultan. The green and gold designs inside look beautiful. So a fun fact, this German fountain was shipped from Germany and assembled here like a puzzle. We are now heading to the Hagia Sofia, which is one of the most iconic buildings in the world. It was built in 537 AD by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian. Back then, it was the largest church in the world. Later, when the Ottomans took over in 1453, Under Sultan Mehmed II, it was turned into a mosque. Today, Hagia Sophia is still a mosque and an incredible mix of Byzantine and Ottoman history. Here in the front is the famous Blue Mosque, and it was built in the early 1600s during the Ottoman Empire and is called the Blue Mosque because of the blue Iznik tiles inside. The courtyard and the domes are absolutely stunning.
You actually, not for us. So we call it Sultanahmet Mosque because and bazaars, they were really popular back then. We still have the world famous.
The Blue Mosque is one of the few mosques in the world with 6 minarets.
This is showing off. Nothing more. Because he actually wanted the best ever Sultan Mosque. So 4 wasn't enough for him, so he chose 6. That's why he chose this very prestigious location facing directly Hagia Sophia. The most valuable even back then. That was a massive deal.
So we are in the Hagia Sophia complex, and right next to the Hagia Sophia Mosque there are traditional Turkish hammams or the bath houses, and bath culture was a huge part of life in the Ottoman period, a place to relax, socialize and basically enjoy a spa day.
The biggest hammams, and this is one of the best hammam experiences that you can have here in Istanbul. But unfortunately, it's one of the most expensive hammams of Istanbul as well.
So a fun fact, Hagia Sophia was world's largest cathedral for 1,000 years until the Seville Cathedral was built in the 1500s. So we are right outside the fountain of Sultanahmet, and people used to gather here to drink water and wash before the prayers. It was one of the pretty examples of Ottoman street fountains. So yet another fun fact, Istanbul has more than 800 historic fountains across the city.
This is like a cover. Yeah, now covering them. They don't even touch it. There's a distance. And it's a retractable system. We can move it up and down whenever.
So you see this wall. This is not the city wall of Istanbul, but it's the Topkapi Palace wall, the royal home of Ottoman sultans for almost 400 years. This is where they lived, ruled the empire, held the ceremonies and kept the famous treasures.
And it's a nice mixture of European, Turkish and Islamic art inside the city. So the imperial family.
An interesting fact about Topkapi Palace, more than 4,000 people lived inside this palace complex. We are now walking through Sobuk Sesame Street, a cozy cobblestone lane with old wooden Ottoman mansion, and this lane runs behind the Hagia Sophia Mosque. Old wooden houses in this area were built using wooden interlocking technique and without using any nails. Another interesting fact, Istanbul has more than 60 streets that still keep their original Ottoman layout. We have now walked towards the other side of Hagia Sophia and now entering the Gulhan Park, which is one of the oldest parks in Istanbul. It was once part of the palace gardens where the sultans relax. Today is a beautiful green space for everyone.
The last building on the right side, that yellow is building after that white one. So that is the entrance.
And just came to know from our guide that tulips actually originated from Turkey and not from Netherlands. After enjoying the beautiful Gulhan Park, we exited the park into Taya Hatun Street. This area has small cafes, shops and lots of local vibes. A fun fact about this place. The layout of Taya Hatun Street and the surrounding area has stayed the same for more than 600 years. We have now entered the Hocapasa food district, which is a heaven for food lovers. So many options for kebabs, Turkish dishes and desserts. Especially if you eat non-vegetarian food, this is a great place to be in and try the local flavors. A fun fact about Hocapasa food district. This area became popular because the railway workers ate here daily.
Now it's official. They have their own German version of dinner. So everybody likes that. But if you haven't...
We are now in Sirkesi area, which is famous for the old Sirkesi train station and also the final stop of the historic Orient Express. A fun fact about Sirkesi area. Passengers once arrived here from Paris after days of travel. And here is the grand post office built in the early 1900s during the late Ottoman period. The architecture is amazing and very grand and elegant.
In 1905. And back then, it was popular in Europe to build these kind of...
So a fun fact about this grand post office, it was once home to a museum of Islamic art. We are now walking through the historic financial district, and this is where banks and trading offices were located during the Ottoman era. So an interesting fact about this area, the Ottoman Stock Exchange started here in this historic financial district. So right here in front of us is the Yeni Mosque, also known as the New Mosque, and is actually more than 350 years old. The courtyard and the domes look gorgeous, and the construction took 66 years due to political delays.
Actually,
Our next stop is the Egyptian Bazaar, also called the Spice Market. Right now it's closed, so we will come back to the Egyptian Bazaar and explore it later. So we are back here at the Egyptian Bazaar, and this bazaar was built in 1664 as part of the new mosque complex. The Egyptian Bazaar, also known as the Spice Bazaar, is the second oldest covered market in Istanbul. This bazaar has around 85 shops inside, and all of them are selling spices, dried fruits, Turkish delight, herbal teas, nuts, oils, and saffron. The bazaar smell is iconic, and the moment you enter, you will be greeted with the aroma of cinnamon, saffron, mint, rose, and roasted nuts. It feels like walking into a perfume of spices. Egyptian Bazaar was also once the center of spice trade between East and West, so the traders from India, Iran, Egypt, Arabia, and Central Asia used to pass through here. So a fun fact about Egyptian Bazaar is that you can taste almost everything. Vendors here freely offer samples of nuts, sweets, lokum, apple tea, pomegranate tea, and the dry fruits to the people. And our last stop in this walking tour is the Eminonu Square, which is one of the busiest parts of Istanbul. You will see ferries, mosque, street food, and the energy here is amazing. So this square has been a trading center for over 1000 years. After having an amazing time with the walking tour, we are now here at Arya Lounge, a rooftop restaurant, and the view here is just out of the world. The Golden Horn on one side and the Bosphorous Strait on the other. It's a perfect way to end this long walk through the history. On left is the Golden Horn because of the water inlet shaped like a horn and the color of water at the sunset. The Golden Horn separates the old city from the new city. The old city is Sultanahmet and the new city is Galata. Right across is the Bosphorous Strait, which is the natural boundary between the two continents. One side is Europe and the other side is Asia. And Istanbul is the only city in the world that sits on the two continents. So now it's time to end my video. I hope you enjoyed the walking tour of old historic area of Istanbul. I'll see you in my next video in Istanbul. So till then, have a good one and bye-bye.